Ever raised a large round and still lost control of your company? That's because board seats aren't the only thing that matter. The real power, it's in the votes. Let's talk about super voting shares, because owning 20% of the company shouldn't mean having 0% of the say. Hey everyone, I'm Corey, a startup lawyer helping entrepreneurs decode law, technology, and innovation. In today's bonus episode of our NVCA term sheet series, we're going deep on a tool many founders don't even realize they may need, and that's enhanced voting power. This is the key to protecting your vision after the money lands in the bank account. In this video, we'll break down the difference between board seats and shareholder votes, how 10-to-1 voting power actually works, why it's both powerful and controversial, best practices and best practices for negotiating it into your deal. So, voting power does not equal board control. Founders often fight to keep their board seats, but forget that major decisions happen at the shareholder level. These include selling the company, amending the charter, changing stock rights. If you don't control the votes, you may not control the outcome. So what is enhanced voting power? It is a structure that gives certain shares more votes per share. For example, Class B common stock could have 10 votes per share for founders. Class A preferred could have 1 vote per share for investors. This keeps control with founders even as their ownership percentage actually shrinks. Now, why does this matter? It protects the company's mission, it can block hostile takeovers, it preserves founder-driven product strategy, and can prevent a founder from being ousted from the board. This is especially important in later rounds when dilution kicks in, but the vision still matters. Okay, so Corey, this sounds great, but what are the pushbacks and the pitfalls? The main investor pushback is that VCs hate these structures. They want proportional control. Next, there's market criticism. Dual-class shares are often slammed in the public markets. An example would be Facebook founder Mark Zuckerberg. He controls via founder shares the votes of the company, even though his percentage is not actually as high as it used to be when the company was founded. Next, we have governance risk. If unchecked, founders can dominate without any real accountability. Okay, so what are best practices for founders? Being transparent. Explain why super voting shares preserve your strategic goals and your direction. Another option is to add sunset provisions. Set an expiration or milestone-based limits on the super voting concept. Anticipate the future. Think about future rounds, IPO scrutiny, and governance balance. A key point here is investors in future rounds may say, look, you have these provisions, but we won't invest in your next round if they stay, and thus the founder will have a choice to make around whether or not they keep them or do they need the capital. Okay, so let's recap. Board seats help manage day to day, but shareholder votes control the big decisions. Super voting shares keep founders in the driver's seat even as the cap table shifts. But this has to be used wisely, and you also have to think about long-term goals as well as what type of leverage you may have in your specific circumstances. Now, this is a bonus video to our NVCA term sheet series. Make sure to check out the full playlist to sharpen your edge before the next financing round. Join me on the path to decoding law, technology, and innovation to grow your business. And don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Until next time.